Hey, what's good, everybody? How about we take pasta night and taco night and put it all together and come up with a delicious cheesy beef enchilada pasta bake. Yep, that's what's going to be on the menu tonight. So continue watching and let's get to cooking. For this recipe, because we're using a pound of beef, we're only going to need half of this box, which is 8 ounces. I know lately it's hard to find 8-ounce boxes. It seems like all they have on hand is the pound boxes. But nevertheless, we're going to make it work. We're going to start off with adding some salt to the boiling water because our pasta is quite bland. All right. Give it a quick stir. Make sure nothing is stuck together. Once you're done, you're going to cover it down and allow it to boil for about 20 minutes. Pan is nice and warm. I'm going to add a small drizzle of oil to the pan. Nothing serious, all right? If you're using a lean cut of meat, definitely add some oil. However, if you're going to be using, let's say beef chuck, for instance, right? You're not going to have to add any oil to the pan. However, let's get this party started. All right, our meat is perfectly cooked all the way through it. And as you can see, we have some oil going on. We're going to discard of this and come right back. At this point in time, we are going to add our onions or anything close to onions, all right? For this recipe, I'm going to be using shallots, a little sweeter. To keep it real, I forgot to buy onions. But anyway, we're going to add our shallots. And we're going to cook them down until they become translucent. And this part should take, honestly, about 2 minutes. All right, onions are perfectly cooked. At this point in time, we're going to add our garlic. Combine it really good. We're going to cook the garlic down until it becomes fragrant. That should take about 30 seconds. Once you smell that aroma, at that point in time, you can start adding your other ingredients, all right? Like your smoked paprika for a nice smoky element of flavor. Our ground cumin. Yeah, this is cumin. Gotta make sure. Not gonna add so much cumin because it's pungent. And we're also gonna add some chili, all right, to spice things up just a tad bit. Not too much, because we gotta keep in mind that our enchilada sauce is spicy. Now, if you want to go all out with the spice, you definitely can. However, if you're not a big fan of spice, I would suggest to minimize the amount that you add. I'm going to add some of my all-purpose chicken seasoning. This has no chicken products whatsoever. It's just a seasoning that contains a lot of flavor. All right, looking good so far. We are going to add our enchilada sauce. Make sure you add some water to that can. We're also going to add some mild Rotel. Okay, perfect. Combine the meat with the sauce. Oh, this smells so good. Whoa, this smells really good. Oh, yes, this looks great. All right, we're going to lower the flame, cover it down, and allow it to come to a slow simmer. We're going to add some of our beef bouillon because we want amplified flavor, okay? We're going to stir that on in. At this point, I want all of the flavors to literally intertwine with one another in order to make the best tasting sauce. We are going to add some sour cream. Now, here's the thing. The benefit of adding the sour cream is simple. Not only is it going to give it a nice creamy flavor, but it's also going to help to combat some of that heat. We're just going to fold the sour cream into the meat sauce, of course. Okay. And we are going to bring over our pasta. Now, with the pasta, of course, you're going to drain it off first. Get that colander and add your pasta. And we're going to fold our pasta in. I wish we had smell-o-vision because I want you to smell it. Oh my goodness. This is, oh my goodness. I want to take the pot off the stove and just go find a seat and just eat. Even though we're not finished yet. For this recipe, I opted for Monterey Jack and sharp cheddar because I want that contrast that the cheese is going to bring. All right, but like I said, if you want to use, let's say, maybe a Mexican blend or even some Gouda cheese for a nice, smooth, creamy taste, or maybe some mozzarella. At this point in time, you want to give it a good taste. See whether or not if you need to add maybe some salt, ground black pepper, a little all-purpose seasoning, something, you know what I'm saying, to jazz it up just a bit to your preferred liking. And of course, we're going to reserve some because we are going to top our beautiful, beefy, cheesy enchilada pasta with cheese as well. Stir it up really good. Make sure you get the cheese in all of those little nooks and crannies because this is a one-pot recipe. However, if you want to add our beautiful mixture to, let's say, a 9x13 casserole dish, you definitely can. First, all you want to do is grease the casserole dish before adding your beefy cheesy enchilada pasta. Or if you're in a rush, it's the weeknight or even the weekend and you're like, listen, I ain't trying to dirty up no extra dishes, you hear me? You could definitely feel free to have it your way, but make sure that it's a heavy duty pan that you're going to be using if you're going to be placing it into the oven. You don't want to put anything in there that's going to snap, crackle, or pop. All right, so that's about it. Now here's the thing, if you want to stretch this recipe even more, you could add some corn or even, let's say, maybe some beans. Some canned black beans would work out perfectly fine as well. Jalapeños if you want it to be even more spicy. This is one of those recipes where everything is optional and preferred preference, all right? Uncovered into the oven, 375 degrees Fahrenheit for about 15 to 20 minutes until the cheese is nice and melted. It is time for us to dig into this masterpiece, all right? Now here's the thing, if I were you, I would allow this to cool at least for about 10 to 15 minutes, right? But because this is Cooking with Tammy and the show must go on, I'm not gonna allow it to cool. However, I'm just gonna get in there and dig on in. All right, ooh, check that one out. That's gorgeous. However, you gotta be patient with me because it's hot, okay? It is hot and smoking and beautiful and cheesy and woo. Oh, this is definitely worth it. This is definitely worth it. This fusion, right? This fusion of, remember what I said earlier? Taco night meets pasta. It's superb. I mean, for taco night, or should I say Taco Tuesday, we don't always have to pull out the tacos, right? We definitely could be inventive with what it is that we're doing. And man, I tell you, this recipe is so worth it. So worth it. I want you guys to definitely give this recipe a try because it's delicious. And most importantly, one pot, quick and easy. I mean, who could beat that? 20 to 30 minutes, you're in the kitchen, snap your finger and you're out the kitchen. As always, I'm your girl Cooking with Tammy, and I will definitely catch you in another video. Talk to you later. Bye, guys.